Alright, yo, what's up guys? It's me, Shadow, back again with another tutorial video. This week we're going to be going over how to make super hard, high energy beats for BKTHERULA. BK is honestly one of the most underrated artists in the underground, like, completely. She's just really had, like, hit after hit after hit. Even though a ton of people know about her, even though she's super, like, respected in the underground, I feel like she just deserves way more credit than she gets. And I don't really see a lot of BKTHERULA tutorials, especially geared towards, like, her harder style of beats. Oftentimes she'll be hopping on, like, more ambient, wavy, like, kind of just like all over the that's okay. Yeah, I don't know. She just uses other beats. She's not strictly like a hard type beat artist or anything like that. But yeah, I don't really see a lot of those videos, and I figured why not do this. I usually don't cover these styles of beats. My channel is primarily oriented around like the synth-based yeet and like, you know, that kind of underground scene. However, I do plan on branching out. I don't want to stick to that one genre forever. The theme of this channel is not a specific genre. It's more so just the underground. So yeah, expect more variety and stuff like that in the future. That is a goal of mine, and I don't really want my channel to be known for just like a specific style of beat. So yeah, I don't think I really had to say that, but I said it. And yeah, let's just hop right into this video, guys. Starting off, guys, we're going to set the BPM to 160. This is a high energy beat. This is a high tempo beat. Super hard drums, just crazy all over the place. So pretty much like 150 plus is what you want to go for with these kind of beats. I'm going with 160. These are the drums that we're going to be using for this beat. Essentially, I'm using like a collection of a couple different drum kits. One is this Broke Boy Taylor and Kilkang Quintessence drum kit. Taylor's the homie. I really enjoy his kits and just his beats and all that kind of stuff. So if you want good perks, 808s, like all that kind of weird stuff, go get this kit. It's literally free. And then this 808 right here, the Robot 808, what we're using for this beat, is actually from me and my friend Frost drum kit that is currently not released, but we are working on it behind the scenes. It should hopefully be out within like the next month is what I'm guessing. Hopefully a little bit sooner. But yeah, if you want cool, crazy 808s like this, just subscribe to me and keep up with my content, and this kit will be released pretty soon with this 808 and like a ton of other cool ones. Then guys, the VSTs that we're using are Expand 2 and Purity. You can use like a collection of a million different free plugins. You do not need to use paid plugins, but I just enjoy Expand and Serum. Those are my favorite plugins. Within Expand 2, we're using the Natural Sections preset. It's basically just some brass. Obviously, it's not going to sound like that in the beat, but that's what we're using. And then we're using the phone call effect from my Vanquish Serum Bank, which is going to sound like this. Yeah, pretty cool. Basically, for these kind of beats, you want like really crazy, weird leads with like a super unique sound, which is why I picked this for my kit. I have a bunch of really cool effects and just different wonky sounds in this kit. So if you guys want to check that out, free demo in the description, as well as the link for the full kit will be down below. And yeah, those are actually all the sounds for this beat, guys. You really only need like super hard drums and like 1 or 2 melody sounds to make these beats super good. So with that out of the way, we're going to go over how I made this beat, starting off with the melody. First, we're going to lay out these chords, which are really simple. They're going to sound like this. There's really not a whole lot of explaining I could do here, because essentially it is basically just an F sharp, B to G like this. And then I just spread them apart in different octaves. As you can see, F sharp 4, F sharp 3, F sharp 2. That is literally it. Pretty fun, bouncy pattern. This trumpet was basically just made to sit in the background. I don't feel like this is an exclusively BKTHERULA style instrument. I don't even know if I've ever heard trumpets in any of her songs, but I just kind of liked the pattern in my head, and I thought it would be cool, so I did it. But other than that, really nothing to say here. If you want to make super wide sounding bassy trumpets, just make a super simple like 2 to 4 note pattern, and then, you know, spread it out through some octaves and you'll be good. Then guys, we have the main lead, which is just super annoying, but that is the point, and it's gonna sound like this. Isn't that really nice and pleasing to your ears? And just in case you weren't annoyed enough, I put it into a separate pattern and pushed it down an octave like this. Anyone who made it this far in the video has definitely clicked off by now, but that is okay. Basically, for this pattern, guys, it's like super simple. All I'm doing is using a 3-note repetitive lead. And it's basically just notes that we already made within our original chord progression: G, F sharp, B. Those are notes that we already used. You guys saw that. Basically what I do is, regardless of the, you know, pattern of my chord progression or however the notes are introduced, what I do is I start from the highest note in the progression and I just move down to the lowest note in, you know, whatever increment or pattern you want. and that is how I created this super annoying lead. It sounds better in the beat, but on its own, it's just insufferable. Very, very annoying. And yeah, that's it. That is the entire melody. I know that was kind of crazy. A lot of you guys probably weren't able to follow along because this was sort of on the level of like, I don't know, Mozart, Beethoven, something like that. So hopefully you guys kind of understood what I was going for, but altogether, this is what the melody is going to sound like. That is the melody out of the way, guys. Now I'm going to hop into how I made the drums for this beat. Starting off, we're going to lay this like bouncy snare pattern that's going to sound like this. There's really nothing too complicated going on here. Basically, you know, these notes right here are just the typical like clap pattern, and we're just replacing it with a snare. We're introducing some notes in between the main snares just for some extra bounce. And then at the very end here, we're sort of going to incorporate the last snare into a roll that sounds like this. Basically, what I did is I clicked this magnet up here. I went to third step. And as you can see, this lines up better on the grid. Essentially what I did is for each of these little like bars or whatever you'd call it, just, you know, divide them incrementally. Is that a word? I don't really know if that's a word. Okay, I guess that works. Yeah, basically, you know, just do some cool, fun triplet snare rolls. You don't even have to do this, but I just felt like, you know, super hard beats are pretty cool and fun. And, you know, the sort of like glow sound with a ton of snare rolls and all that stuff is kind of coming back into the underground and like the modern hip hop scene. So I just figured I'd throw that in there. Then, guys, we have this super obnoxious hi-hat pattern that's going to sound like this. As you can see, there's some high-pitched hi-hat rolls. There's a lot of low-pitched hi-hat rolls, but essentially, right, I'm going to take this, delete it. I'm going to take all these, delete it, and I'm just going to play this for you. Okay, I forgot one note. Regardless, that is the basis of this pattern, a two-step and like really just a couple of rolls. The main thing I did with this pattern is I did these little like kind of jarring, bouncy hi-hats where directly after one hi-hat, I just play another. I'm not really playing it in the middle to create like a nice like roll or bounce. I'm purposely kind of making the beat sound a little jarring and weird. From that point, just a bunch of rolls, man. Mess around, do whatever you want. You don't really have to do like the whole super trap route that I did, but you know, just some high-pitched notes here. You know, as you can see, they're kind of like going down. They're progressing downwards. They are going down. And then I have this nice little roll here where, as you can see, I actually pasted it over to the second half, but I purposely didn't put it in the same location. I just kind of pasted it randomly just to add some weird like variation and stuff like that. And then down here, it's just like super trap stuff where it's like, you know, kind of the same rolls that are up here, except I just put them in like random descending notes or ascending notes going upwards. And then, you know, I was just messing around. Super low octave notes sound cool because it just sounds like a perk. And yeah, that's the hi-hat pattern. Pretty cool, I think. And then lastly, guys, the 808 pattern is going to sound like this. Yeah, personally, I really enjoy this hi-hat pattern. I think this is really what made me want to make this beat because I was just going through some of the 808s that me and my friend Frost made. I just thought this would be super good for one of these kind of beats. So I did it. And, you know, it's kind of weird on its own. It might sound like not good or like jarring, not something that you typically use in a beat. That just goes to show experimenting is very good with your beats, your 808s, just anything that you do in regards to music. Experimenting is always the way to go. Don't try to fit into a box perfectly. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I ended up with this pattern. Essentially what I'm doing here is what I've been doing before, basically just following the notes that we already made within the chord progression, which is primarily F sharp, B, and G. And other than that, I guess I'm pretty much sticking to the B note because that is the lowest pitched note that we're using in this pattern, and we really want the 808 to hit and punch. So it's primarily the lowest pitched note, and then we're sort of using the higher pitched notes like the F sharp and the G to synergize with the lower 808 and just do some cool like jarring stuff. You know, honestly, we're literally just trying to make this beat sound like as insane as possible. And you know, when you put all that stuff together, it might not sound good on its own, but it pretty much always sounds good together if you do it correctly. Pretty fun. You know, I didn't really do anything too special besides this one little part right here. Basically, I just took the B note here and I pasted it twice. One is a B6, one's a B5, and then I went to the pan and I put one in the left ear, one in the right ear, and you know, high pitched notes in different ears or whatever, panning and stuff like that. Super cool. I like the effect that it creates, so I just kind of did that. Other than that, you know, a lot of variation, a lot of weird jarring bounce, maybe some triplet bounce. Just kind of utilize different notes, different octaves, different bounces. I'm probably not helping you guys at all with my words, but hopefully visually you guys can get an understanding of what I'm trying to do here. And that is all I have to say for the 808 pattern. So yeah, that is actually all the drums out of the way, guys, along with the melody. The drums are going to sound like this all together. So yeah, that's pretty cool. As for mixing on the drums, literally all I do to make my drums hit is I take everything off the master. I know that sounds kind of weird and like not typical to hip hop drums, but hey, I don't care. I just take everything off the master. I don't like the limiter, and I could use soft clipper. You can use that if you want. I just personally don't do that. And other than that, literally all these sounds are completely unmixed. The trumpet sound from earlier has a little bit of like low end EQ, and it's like stereoized, but that's it. There's no sounds in this beat that are mixed because you don't really need to mix your drums as much as you think you do. As for structuring, guys, it's like super simple. Basically 16 bars of hook, 16 bars of verse, and just repeat from there. You know, there's one more hook, one more verse. This beat is literally only like a minute and a half long because it's just super hard and crazy. I imagine someone like BKTHERULA would hop on this, just do her thing, spaz out, and then the beat would be over. You know, like you don't need 3-minute long beats when you're doing these super hard, crazy kind of stuff. The first half of the hook is just going to be all the sounds super normally. Then we're actually going to automate some effect tricks like this. Essentially what we're doing is we're opening Effectrix and we are using the reverse preset like this. That is literally it. I don't even think you need to use Effectrix. You can probably use Gross Beat or like any other free alternative. All you're doing is reversing your melody and automating it in a way where, you know, it kind of comes in and out within the second half of the verse. You can literally just export your audio file of the melody and reverse it yourself. You don't need to use Effectrix. I'm just using Effectrix because it's easy. And you know, every time that happens, we're kind of taking out the hi-hat and clap just for some movement in the beat. When we move to the verse, we're using the lower pitched melody sound like this. You know, just a pretty easy way to signify that we are moving to the verse. Things are kind of slowing down within the beat, but the artist is gonna go... What? The artist is gonna go crazy in this part. The verse is where the artist usually like... I don't know what I'm saying, but basically, yeah, only thing that we're changing for the verse is that we're lowering the pitch of the main melody, and other than that, drums are completely the same. We aren't automating the melody this time. We're only saving that for the hook, and other than that, that is literally it. And the only other thing we're doing for structuring is we are putting these little risers before the hooks and verses just to signify to the listener like, hey, we're moving to a new part of the beat, and that's it. And yeah, that's actually like literally it. I don't know if this is going to be a short video or a long video, but regardless, these beats are pretty simple. They're super fun to make, and you don't have to do too much for them. So yeah, that's going to wrap this video up, guys. If you watched this video all the way through to the end, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys who watch my videos all the way through. If you guys like this video, leave a like. If you didn't, don't. Remember to hit the subscribe button. I post videos 2 times a week on Wednesday and Friday covering underground and up-and-coming artists, challenge videos, entertainment content, and more. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day or night. Peace.